Good morning and welcome back to Cold Waters, and today we're exploring a single mission. I'm using the 1990 campaign mod that I found on Subsim, and I'll put a link to that in the description below. But I've just discovered that the Skipjack does not appear to have a towed array. And well, that's a little disappointing. Maybe that's not entirely true, but yeah, it would help me out because Intel tells me there's a boomer trying to traverse the Straits of Denmark. And I got nothing. I got a November, which is a notoriously noisy boat that might make the Skipjack seem quiet. And no boomer. So I'm wondering whether to just ping active or fire upon this guy. He doesn't know I'm here right now, but he will do soon. Don't worry. Yeah. Well, we're at war. It's St. Valentine's Day, 1990, so I'm going to go ahead and fire on him because Happy Valentine's Day. Let's see, he's 5,000 yards away. Wow. And these are just Mark 48s. I've got a 3,000 yard sensor range. Okay, I guess all 045 for 1.8 thousand yards. Hit it.
Aye, sir.
Let's see, he's dropped to 5 knots. Let's see if he's going to react. Oh, wait, what? That's not him. Okay, something reacted and it wasn't him. I'm going to pump up to 15 knots here.
Turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Bad feeling about that. Let's make this torpedo active.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 1 last bear. Con maneuvering. Making turns for 15 knots.
Let's get a couple of these mosses loaded. The 1990 campaign then, so I've discovered a couple of things. One appears to be no towed array. Now I did tweak the skipjack definition. We're in the USS Shark, by the way. I tweaked the skipjack definition just a little bit to bump its speed up to 33 knots as opposed to 30 knots. Because we're not going to do that right now. We really want to keep a wire on this torpedo. Now the mod developer, or the author, tweaked how long it takes to reload torpedo tubes. It takes a long time now. I've told it to reload and nothing. I think it's 45 minutes it's supposed to fit. Oh.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
That's 3 now. I'm gonna use active sonar on this torpedo. The November doesn't have aneroic coating, which means it's gonna send a reasonable sonar signal back to my torpedo and therefore down the wire back to me, and that's fabulous. But maybe if there's another torpedo close to it.
Con sonar new contact bearing 061 designated Sierra 2.
And as if by magic, let me guide that manually whilst at the same time trying to identify this target. I'm assuming it's submerged.
Con, fire control.
Con sonar regained contact on Sierra 1 bearing 053.
It might be Foxtrot-class, but it's hard to tell. I mean, I can't really see much of.
Con sonar noisemaker bearing 054.
Yeah, let's actually let the torpedo just do its sweep. I can't tell. Whoa. Okay, that's not what I wanted. Let's rotate it round again.
Con, fire control, weapon acquired.
I don't know what Sierra 2 is then. I think it might be. Could it be a boomer? I wonder. No. Of course, I could slow down As a well or no. Let's follow this torpedo in as it guides to the target.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 5,
Really can't.
4.
That's...
Con sonar, new contact bearing 0, 2, 9. Designated Sierra 3.
Okay, this isn't very helpful, but I saw multiple boats there. Well, there you are. Let's turn that round.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 0, 2, 9. Contact faded.
Okay, this should take care of him.
Make turns for 5
Oh,
knots.
really?
Maneuvering aye. Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 1,
Okay.
last bearing 0, 5, 5.
So-
Contact breaking up.
I manually steer that in. Is there a little wheeze here? If I push F3. Oh, that's
Con
me.
sonar, regained contact on. Sierra 3, bearing 0, 2, 7.
I see what's happening. Both of those
Con
torpedoes are...
sonar, lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing 0. Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Right, both of those torpedoes are homing in on the sinking wreckage. So let's see if we can identify torpedo or Sierra 3. That contact. What is that? Might be a... No, it's not a Vector 3. That is not a Sierra. Okay.
Con sonar, lost contact. Sierra 3, last bearing 0, 2, 7. Contact faded.
I could do with knowing what it is, because it'll give me a clue as to what the torpedo is, but right now I'm going to assume that it's very bad. This is a USS 80, so let's turn away. Let's guide this here.
Come left to 270. Helm aye.
With no towed array, I don't have good ears on those contacts, so I guess we'll just drift away at 5 knots. Let's accelerate time. And so here
Con,
again,
helm, steady course.
it's a non.mod mod to the game, and it's introduced enough differences that makes me like, oh, that's a little different. Yeah, I like that.
Come right to 0, 0, 0. Helm aye.
Okay, let's just let this string out for us a little bit and see what
Con,
happens.
helm, steady course.
Two torpedoes circling like angry wasps over the wreckage of a November class is wonderful, but it's blocking all the noise around. So, thought that might be a Charlie 2, and then I lost the signal. I could rump up to flank speed and get some distance on, but it's going to attract everyone's attention. And the Mark 48's good, but I don't have infinite torpedoes. This isn't ace combat in the water.
Con, torpedo room, tube 6 ready.
Okay. With bated breath, I wait. I guess I gotta reload this tube. Alright. Well, let's point the nose towards...
Come right to 0, 4, 0. Helm aye. Con, helm, steady course.
Okay, I'm going to pause the recording because this could be a long video otherwise, and I'll be back when we have something else to go on. Okay, just a few seconds after I paused, or I stopped the recording, I got fired upon by something over here. I can't detect it.
Fire control, we've lost the wire.
I lost the wire. Okay, fine. Let's go, if there's another
Come
one.
right to
Let's
1,
go
2,
full evasive.
6. Helm aye. Make turns for 3,
That's
3.
three
knots.
coming my way.
Maneuver
I need
aye.
to get like a tree and get out of there. You know, I could fire a moss, but I don't think I want to right now. Reason being is I've got one Mark 48 out there, and it's going to go. I don't know what the behavior is of the Mark 48s and the mosses. So I'm going to basically
Con,
just...
helm, steady course.
The Skipjack's built for speed, so let's use it. Oh yeah, I can see those torpedoes coming my way. The two on the right, if you can see them.
Noisemaker bearing 0, 4, 3.
There might be 3 on the right, although there's a noisemaker. They look like they're almost certainly wire guided. That's bad news. That means you sit 80s or maybe test 71s. So I'm turning the opposite direction. Oh, these are very close. Yeah, I should have got Moss off.
Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering up.
It's not too late.
Make
I can fix
turns
that.
for 20 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Turn away from the Moss. Crank it up. Oops.
Make
Crank it
turns
up
for
to flank speed.
3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Wonderful photogenic shot there. Even the increase in noise. Right, let's switch back to my boat. I'd love to dive a little deeper, but I can't. So, let's turn a little bit more south, I think. Something else is firing at me then. Great. Okay, I think I'm in trouble. Because likelihood is that
sonar, noisemaker, bearing 0, 5, 1.
Passing 700 feet.
this torpedo will go past the Moss and immediately, so the submarine will go past the Moss and immediately lock onto me. So I'm heading for the
Passing
surface.
600 feet.
I'm going to go up like a fart
Sonar, we are cavitating.
in the bath. Oh, look at that. It's a...
Passing 400 feet.
Dang, that so does not
Passing
happen to me.
300 feet. Passing 200 feet. Passing 100 feet.
Had to breach the surface. That's bad. Oh, there we
Con,
go.
torpedo room 2.
Con, sonar, torpedo in the water.
Mhm.
Torpedo in the water. Bearing 0, 5, 1.
I can't even detect where that is.
Passing 100 feet.
I'm above the layer. Right, let's switch back to my boat view. Looks like... So, hopefully YouTube will show this off, but there appears to be 2 torpedoes, essentially on my rear quarters, and they're descending back down to go for the Moth, so I might have gotten away with it this time. Now we're above a duct and a moderate layer, and that is good because it's going to bend the sound, I guess, just enough. And so we may, like I say, we may have gotten away with this. Let's go back to the map view. Yeah, not much to really go on here. Let's go ahead and turn to starboard. I'm going to see if I can head a little bit more north. Yeah, it's a noisy torpedo. Okay. Now that's not to say that torpedo, it might be going for the wreckage of the November down there. And that would seem likely. But
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 0, 4, 8.
let's drop my depth to 200 feet. I'll go ahead and do that using the
Make depth 150 feet. Dive I.
autopilot. We'll slow down. We'll do
Make
10
con
knots.
sonar, no longer cavitating.
Okay. Let's actually go to let's go to 5.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye.
So what I'm trying to do here is reposition myself to take another strike. Now, without the special setup with how long it takes torpedoes to reload and so on and so forth, this technique can be very effective, especially in the skipjack, as you can fire some torpedoes, hit flank speed, head
Dive at 200 feet. Dive I.
to another part of the map, slow down, and by which point you've usually got all your torpedoes loaded, fire another 4, 5 or 6 or however many you want to fire, and then relocate.
Con sonar, noisemaker, bearing 0, 6, 9.
No, I
Con
should-
sonar regained contact on Sierra 2, bearing 0, 6, 9.
Should be able to
maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
do that using this version of the game. Sierra 2 is another November.
Con sonar, Sierra 2 is classified as submerged submarine.
But it takes a bit longer.
Con sonar lost contact. Sierra 2, last bearing
Oh,
0,
okay.
7, 0. Contact breaking up.
Well, that's good. And actually I didn't spot this, but we took care of Sierra 3, or something took care of Sierra 3. Can we see what that was? I don't know, that looks like November to me. Yeah, so there were 3 Novembers, I think. And that's great, but where's the boomer? I guess it's not been spooked by whatever's... Okay, but it's not been spooked by those other torpedoes. I wonder if it's south of Sierra 3 and northeast of Sierra 2, maybe between those 2 noisemakers. Now, if I was the Rusky boomer captain, I would have decided I'd left something on at home and headed east at best speed, because you can always reposition and come back. But I can't easily get there because there's a bunch of torpedoes in the way, and one of them is now threatening me.
Come right to 000. Helm. Make turns for con sonar. We are cavitating.
Oh. I'm making a ton of noise here, which I don't really want to do, but bring my speed back to 50.
Con sonar. No longer cavitating.
We'll get to about 400 feet. In fact, let's actually stop the dive.
300 feet.
Stop the dive there. Okay. So the moss is now being ignored by all those torpedoes, and there's this torpedo that's heading southeast south. This one. Oh, that's why. That does not look like a November to me. That looks like a modern. Well, either way, it's dead. But that was not a November. I got a bad feeling about this, but I think I want to turn back and re-engage.
Come right to 049. Helm I.
Because who doesn't want to re-engage, right?
Passing 400 feet.
Make turns for 20 knots. Maneuvering I. Con maneuvering. Making turns for 20 knots.
Is going in at 20 knots too aggressive? Quite possibly. I'm not going to hear a thing, so let's get back to 5 knots, I think.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
Okay, well, I'm going to pause the recording. In the real world, I need some more water because I feel thirsty. So I'll grab some water. I'll actually pause the game and come back and with some more water, and we'll see what happens. But I think there's at least another submarine out there. Pretty sure there is. And it's probably the boomer because it doesn't seem to have been spooked by anything going on. So I'm thinking I might try some scouting by torpedo, but that'll be after this very short break, which you probably won't even notice.
Maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Okay, something just launched, and it was pretty much... Yeah, well, that sonar gives it away, but it's in the middle of this square here, so I'm going to go ahead and fire.
Con, fire control, we've lost the
Oh,
wire.
really? Lost the wire again, that sucks. But it does mean I can justify
Come left to 0
cranking up,
turns for con sonar. We are cavitating.
cranking up to 33 knots and heading north at best speeds. So let's get my depth down. So this skipjack may not have a
Passing
towed array,
500 feet.
but it's maneuverable. That's my torpedo on.
Helm. Con sonar. No longer cavitating.
That's my torpedo on the way, and
Passing 600 feet.
I don't know whether this will get picked up in YouTube, but there's either a torpedo heading my way, like directly at me, or something is sinking. Maybe. I think it's something sinking. So I'm supposing that maybe there's nothing there anymore. Yeah, that's a sinking boat. But it fired upon maybe the direction of a torpedo, but that means that there's four. I think 4 sunk boats. No, there's only 3. I think. Yeah. So, but wait. No, there's definitely... Okay, I thought there were more. There was another sunk... Oh, yes, there is, yeah. There's 3 already, and there's that 4th one that we've just hit something and sunk. I can't detect what that is yet, but fine. Okay. Well, like I say, we're cranking on north. I am gonna just run out a bit of distance here. Looks like it's getting shallower dead ahead. Maybe not materially. Yeah, let's just drop to
Rig ship for ultra quiet.
not ultra quiet. Well, yeah, to 5 knots, but I'm still reloading torpedo tubes, and I think I will be perpetually reloading torpedo tubes with this, the way that this is set up. Okay, I'll keep the recording on. Let's accelerate time and switch back to the map. Oh, 2 torpedoes. Okay.
Maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
Hang in the water
Making
here for a
turns
little bit.
0 knots. Maneuvering aye.
Yep, there's definitely something out there. It just fired another torpedo. Yeah, that's
Come right to. Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye. Con sonar, noisemaker, come right to. 0,
Okay.
7, 9, helm aye.
so it's definitely being threatened by torpedo. It's dropped a noisemaker. We can't detect it, and it's fired again. And I suspect it's fired in my direction.
Con sonar, new contact bearing.
There we go.
1, 0, 0. Designated Sierra 4.
What is this? I think it's a nuclear. Victor 2.
Con sonar, Sierra 4 is classified as submerged submarine.
Alright, let's assume it's a Victor 2, which seems reasonable. What do they have? Set 65s, okay. Not a great shake to evade, but still a torpedo, still can bring me down. And still heading my way. I don't see anything, and I don't like using that view because it's a bit...
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 1. Come left to 0, 3, 5, helm aye.
It's not very realistic. But of course, it's not the most realistic submarine game in the world, but there we go. Right, let's... I was going to bump up to 15 knots to get out of the way, but I might be able to watch this engagement, maybe. As this Victor 2 is spinning around trying to avoid my torpedo. Oh, that's where his torpedo is, and it's gone live. I need to move, because it's coming out at me, but let's see if we can see him. There he is. Okay. Right, let's crack on.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering aye.
700 feet, 33 knots.
Depth 700 feet. Dive aye.
I don't
Con
see...
sonar, noisemaker bearing 1, 0, 7.
I don't see that torpedo as being a massive threat, but a big enough threat that I really want to get out of Dodge. Okay, let's accelerate time for a little bit.
Con, dive at 700 feet. Dive aye.
Okay, so that's gotten myself out of harm's way. Let's drop my speed to 5 knots.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering aye. Come right to 0, 9, 0, helm aye.
And point the nose east. And I'm going to use my existing
Con, helm, steady course.
yeah, using my existing speed to point the nose in that direction. So, okay, right. Well,
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 0, 6,
Ooh.
0.
there's something up there as well. What do you know? Okay, Let's get another torpedo on the way, because torpedoes.
Shoot tube 2. Aye, sir.
Kept the wire that time, which is good. Okay.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
This is becoming an interesting game of cat and mouse, as I can't detect what
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 059.
I'm guessing that he's actually under threat by something and not just doing that because of my moss. But yeah, it's becoming an interesting game of cat and mouse because I can't detect what it is that's actually launching at me, but I can most certainly detect evidence of whatever this is. So yeah, that's fascinating. Right. I think I want to accelerate time.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 057.
We took care of the Victor 2 though, which is nice. Sierra 4. I didn't spot that until just now. North is clear, south is clear, so I'm able to maneuver freely if I so feel the need.
Con, torpedo room, tube 1 ready.
Okay, so he's a little further north than I thought. Thank goodness we've got the wire though, that really helps. Yeah, he's quite a bit further north. But that's okay. I don't want to activate this torpedo just yet, and let's see if we can click on his view, its view even. There's no sunken wreckage down there. That's actually behind him. Okay, right. So let's go ahead and make this torpedo live for the sake of it, like so. So it's now seeking, and yeah, we'll give that a few seconds. I'll pause the recording for just a little bit, and we'll let this torpedo do its thing, and I'll be right back.
5.
Well, there you go. Sierra 5, what are you? You're a Delta 3.
Con sonar, Sierra 5 is classified as submerged submarine. Come left to 000.
And I think you need backup, so I'm going to go ahead and fire another torpedo in that direction.
Con, fire control. We've lost the wire.
Bloody lost the wire. And there's another, I believe there's a, oh wait, this is a one wire bow, so never mind. I believe there's another torpedo, another submarine somewhere almost directly to my east. Yeah, there it is. So let's go ahead and just launch on that direction because life's too short.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 044.
I'm going to get that tube reloaded as well. Now I'm going to attempt to notch this torpedo coming towards me.
Come left to 31.
We'll crank it up
Make
to
turns for 15 knots. Maneuvering eye.
We'll crank it up to 15 knots. I'm going to go ahead and activate the active sonar on this torpedo 2. Does the Delta 3 have...
Making turns for 15 knots.
The Delta 3 does not have aneroic coating, but my torpedo is struggling to get a lock on him.
Con, helm, steady course.
If I turn off the active sonar, it looks like it gets a proper lock. Okay. And he's got USET 80s, and that's very bad news. USET 80s are wire guided and
Con
long.
sonar, noisemaker bearing 042.
A long sensor range of 3,000 yards. Now, thankfully, 3,000 yards is smaller than a circle, a square even.
Fire control. Weapon acquired.
And this torpedo that's approaching me should not get within 3,000 yards. However, I don't want to just assume, so we are maneuvering away from it. And we're doing 50 knots because that's the sort of speed that's the fastest we can go and not lose a wire. Can I please get thank you. This particular engagement, I can wire guide this in, and I'm going to.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 042.
If it drops a noisemaker, it's very useful. Let's turn off active
sonar.
sonar.
Lost contact. Sierra 5. Last bearing 041. Contact faded.
Okay. Hey, hello. Hello, chumps. Whoa, 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 whoa. Welcome. Guide him in. Conning tower. Wow. It's gonna sting in the morning, lad. Okay, I'm encouraged to see that. He is pushing his emergency ballast, so he wants to get his crew out, which is good. He is out of the fight, probably. And get back to me. He's probably out of the fight. Now that was my last, or my only wire-guided torpedo. So
Come right to 001. Helm I.
I could reposition at 33 knots. Have another torpedo that's heading towards the Delta 3, and so hopefully that will take him out. Alright, I'll go ahead and drop to 5.
Make turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
And I'll pause the engagement, and I'll be back. I'll pause the recording, not the engagement. You know, I do wonder if my torpedo that I sent towards this Delta 3 is not gonna reach the target. Let's see if we can. Yeah, I can't. I don't know which one it is. There's a few. Okay, it's not this one because it's heading mostly east. So I'm guessing it's this one, and it's still in navigation mode, and it's still heading roughly 045. So I don't think. I think it's not going to go active, and this Delta is moving at 24 knots. And wow, if there's another torpedo, another submarine to my east, I think what I want to do is crack on to 33 knots and see if we can catch up with this Delta. But I think in the best will in the world, that Mark 48 is possibly not going to reach. So let's go ahead and crank on, so to speak.
Make turns for 3 knots. Maneuvering I.
An interception course.
Come right
here.
to 013. Helm I.
And I'll be back when we've made a bit of progress, or run aground or done something stupid.
Helm. Steady course.
Alright. Okay, some time has passed. Notable events. Number 1, the crew identified Sierra 3 as a Sierra-class boat, and that's indeed one that I assumed was a November. We've now gotten close enough to Sierra 5, to this Delta 3, that we can detect its vector, if not its exact location, and it's running on the surface, which we pretty much knew. I don't know how far away this is. If I slow down to get a better ears on the target, it's moving away at 24 knots, so I'm going to keep the throttle firewalled. It's getting a little less deep here. Let's go back here to this view. And let's accelerate time on here. But we still have enough depth to operate. We don't have to worry about having a towed array underneath us, so that's fine. But it's this Delta's moving to shallower water. Of course, he's not concerned about shallower water because he's running essentially at sea level. Let's go ahead and
Come left to 000. Helm I.
run north. I'm gonna just reduce my depth a little bit.
Passing 700 feet.
600 feet. There he is. Okay. So he's 6,000 yards. He's well within shot. Let's drop to 20 knots.
Make turns for 20 knots.
Let's come out of accelerate time. And I can fire at this distance, and at this speed it'll be fine. I'm going to lose the wire though, so let's go ahead and do, I guess we'll put the torpedo 6,000 yards out.
Shoot 2-1. Aye, sir.
I did not lose the wire, for once. Oh wow. I probably will in a little bit, but let's just accelerate time. Huh, I'm not losing the wire.
Con, fire control, we've lost the wire.
There we go. Alright. I suspect it's going to get pretty shallow here. And I may want to slow down to not cavitate when I'm shallower, but we'll see. Let's actually just watch him, I think. Oh yeah, look at that.
Con sonar, noisemaker bearing 005.
Yeah, he's in a bad way. That's a big asshole. That's very... I lost him. That's a very big hole. I'm surprised he is still alive. I'm imagining he's lost some of the crew, and everyone else, of course, is hopefully been able to jump off. I would hope so.
Come right to 028. Helm I.
I'm gonna turn here to sort of head him off at the pass. Alright, let's accelerate time again.
On helm. Steady course.
Don't want to get too close.
Con sonar,
Hey,
noisemaker
got it.
bearing 013.
Okay, well that should be
Make
mission...
turns for 5 knots. Maneuvering I.
That's going to be mission complete, I think. All I've got to do now is just escape from here. So I'm going to go ahead and head west. I know that there's another target out here somewhere, but
Come
I'm not...
left to 270. Helm I.
Let's head towards the North Atlantic. I'm not interested in pursuing this last contact, because for all I know, it's an Akula. And I'll be biting off more than I can chew, unless I'm lucky. So, that just about wraps up today's video. That was a long pursuit. This Delta 3, I guess, didn't really have that much of a choice. He took 2 hits, yeah.
Con maneuvering, making turns for 5 knots.
But the nuclear threat is... that's weird. The nuclear threat from him is no more, so I am happy with that. And that means that, yeah, NATO, America, lives to fight another day. Thanks so much, everyone. I hope that you enjoyed this. I hope that my croaky voice didn't disturb you too much. And hopefully, I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks ever so much. Take care. Goodbye.